this is Kim at Sassy Stitchery and Sassafras Samplers and Yonderways. And welcome back to our FlossTube channel. I know it's been quite some time since I did one. Actually did one again that I didn't post. I'm really guilty of that. I don't know why. It's the editing that slows me down that takes a while to get through it. So this one's going to be a little bit different. This one I'm going to just kind of catch up a little bit and show you some of my favorite things at market, at the National Needlework Market. So we just got back from market. Today is March 16th. We went last weekend. We got all of our pre-orders shipped by Tuesday, which was great, of last week. Just took us a couple days to get through all those because we worked really, really hard at it. So thank you to everybody that pre-ordered from us. We appreciate that. And thank you for all the orders still coming in. That keeps our little needlework shop vibrant and healthy and here to bring you more good things in the future. So we appreciate that. And to everybody that's came and shopped, thank you. But we're looking forward to more of that this week. So market was fantastic. It was great. I really feel like it was one of the more vibrant needlework markets since we've been going. So our first market that we went to was in 2015. So this is 11 years later, although not 11 markets because we missed one in pandemic. So excuse me, had a cough there. So we missed one in pandemic. So not 11 or 12 full markets, but 11 or 12 years ago we started going. And I think this was I enjoyed this one a lot. I'll just put it that way. It was a lot of fun. And probably there were some reasons behind that. I think that we did a lot more pre-orders this time to vendors, which was great. And so it allowed us to get that stuff done and not be so worried, and then just really enjoy walking around the market, which we did. And this year we did not wholesale. Last year we went as a wholesaler for the Sassafras Samplers line. We do reproduction of antique samplers and we do some original design of Sassafras Samplers. And you might see some antiques on the wall behind me. Those haven't been reproduced yet. They've been charted, but we've not put them out yet. And I'm looking at some up on the wall that have been. So anyway, this year we decided not to sell. We decided to just go and purchase. Next year I think we will sell again. I think we'll share a room with our friend from Queenstown Samplers again and bring out just a limited amount next year. We'll start prepping for that now because it takes a lot of focus to do both. And I kind of decided to lean heavy into, making sure we got everything we wanted for the shop this year. And we'd circle back later and wholesale again at market. We do wholesale all the time. So if you happen to be a shop owner and you're watching this and you are interested in some of the Sassafras Samplers, we're happy to wholesale to you. So market, I'm just going to dive right in because I love it. I guess one thing I will say before I do this, because I'm terrible about saying it, we would love if you liked the video and subscribed to the channel. So I'm bad about remembering to do that. Sorry. But there's the reminder. So if you'd like to do that, we would love it. We would love to see you back. Of course, I always say we try to be more regular. And in my heart, I'm telling you, I'm here doing videos every week. But in my reality, I'm in here shipping every week. So I feel really guilty about taking a Monday or Tuesday and doing a video when I know I should be sending out orders. So that's the why. If you're asking, why don't you do more videos? It's because I feel bad about taking the time. So we'll try to get balance in our life this year. That's what we'll try to do. So pride of place. I just want to tell you that I fell in love with this when I saw it come through and when I had the chart in my hands and I opened it up and I looked inside, I fell even more in love with it, if it's possible to say that. So my favorite pride of place from the needlework market is this, a sampler for Grace. And it's by Shaded Stitchery. Nuri is the designer. Nuri, you did a wonderful job with this. I love it. I love the design. It is an original design, but it's imagined from the perspective of Grace, who was a girl of color, a black girl, who actually did help stitch an American flag in the 1800s that flew over Fort McHenry. So Nuri included Grace's history in here so that we can remember Grace and her contribution, and then created this wonderful, beautiful sampler design to help share that story of Grace. And this is from the perspective of Grace, what she might have stitched if she had been given the opportunity to stitch a sampler, which most black girls were not. So I think it's especially important that we highlight this, remember it, and enjoy it. It's such a beautiful design. So Nuri, thank you for this. I'm absolutely positively going to stitch it. I'm in love with it. I love the design and I love the history of it. And you did a wonderful write-up in here of Grace. And so thank you for that. And thank you for letting us learn about her and know about her. Now, the other thing that Nuri did is she put an extra design in here, which I really like, which we do on some of our stuff too from Sassy Samplers, where the flag does have some specialty stitches in it, but she included a whole nother chart that has the flag without specialty stitches, with just cross stitch. So if you want to do it without the specialty stitches, you can do that. And I'm probably going to stitch it both ways. I may just stitch the flag by itself and have it on display, and then stitch the whole piece with the specialty stitches, or maybe both. I just love it. I can't tell you, it would be hard for me to tell you how much I really, really love this. So I'm very excited about stitching it, and I can't wait to do it. It is stitched with Classic Colorworks threads, but it does have a conversion to DMC. So if you want to jump over to DMC, you can do that. If you want us to kit this for you, you just let us know, because this is one of my favorites and I will be doing it. So Nuri, again, congratulations, you knocked this one out of the park. We do have a couple other of Nuris. I'm going to show you one right now in just a minute. And then I've got one that I'm saving to the end. So stick around to the end and you'll see another one. And there's a reason that I'm saving it to the end, and then it's just fabulous. So that was that. And since I'm showing you shaded stitchery, I'm going to show you a few others. This one is called Christmas Compass Rose. And I just thought it was so unique and beautiful. And it's also from Shaded Stitchery, and I just love it. So that's another one that I will hopefully try to stitch before Christmas. Not quite as committed as I am to that first one. And you know how I am. I'm committed to starting. I'm a great starter. Everybody needs a skill set to get through life. And that one happens to be mine. And then I love these guys. So we found them a couple markets ago. Fine Frog. And I just love that gorgeous fox. Just look at that. And if you think that picture's good, you should see the needlework. It's just stunning. Just so beautiful. So I love Fine Frog. They're one of my favorites. And I do some of their sales online too. So that's always fun. And I'll show you some others I do that with too. So we usually get a little group of people here at the shop, and Stitch Group, and everybody joins up and we all join the sale. And I get mine started. And that might be where it ends, but you know, we get them started. This one is by the Stitch Crypt, which is another company that I love. Now you'll see we do have samplers in here. We do have a lot of other things that aren't samplers, because I tend to, in reality, even though we're a sampler reproduction company, I tend to stitch more things that aren't samplers than that are. I love them all. And this year we intentionally shifted our focus away from samplers toward other things, because we have so many samplers. So there are samplers in this group, and if we visited you at market, you know, we bought plenty of samplers, but we were particular about it. So you're going to see a good mix, but they're not all samplers. So I love this. One of the reasons I love this, I mean, there's a whole series of snails at the Stitch Crypt. My dad was a postman. He was a carrier, and a mail carrier, and he had a walking route. And so he had all these fun stories he would come home with about the day. And one time he got attacked by a cat, and there were always bees, and you know, and then at Christmas, folks, it used to be that you gave your mailman a gift, or mailwoman, so be it. And our whole dining room table would be covered with all these little handmade, you know, tins of treats and little gifts that my dad had collected, because he was had a walking route, so he knew all of his clientele, so it was a lot of fun. But anyway, this one kind of touched my heart because of the little carrier pigeon there with his little letters, so I'll probably stitch that. I'm sure I will. And then one more from Stitch Crypt. This one is one that I almost missed, that Alex Medford, who also has a FlossTube, works with me, and she went with me to market, and it was her first market. And of course, one of the reasons I take people with me, and one of the reasons that I really appreciate so much the people that work with me, is because they generally have a different perspective. They notice different things. They're a whole different generation, which is perfect for me, because, you know, in the corporate world, it held true there, it holds true here. The most important thing you can know is what you don't know. And so I bring in people who are going to tell me the things that I missed or that I don't know, and Alex is one of those people. And so she immediately alerted me to this chart. It was either her or Elizabeth. Elizabeth may have told me before I went, but I loved it. I love dragons and I love books. I love books of all kinds. And so we went and we found this one from the Stitch Crypt. So House of Books and Dragons. So House of Book Dragons. Let me say it right. House of Book Dragons. So I'm pretty toasted, pretty excited about stitching this one too. And then, and these are in no particular order, right? Then I also, I love birds, just like all of you. And so this is Little Robin, and this one's called Pretty Polly. And I just really love this. So Stitch, this is amazing, amazing, beautiful. So this one is one that I would love to stitch. So I'm not showing you anything that I wouldn't want to stitch. I don't know how many I'll get started or if I'll try, but everything I'm showing you in the next however many minutes, I would happily sit down and stitch. I love this. So Pretty Polly from Little Robin Designs. I love that pretty little bird. I get to see lots of birds here. So when I'm sitting and shipping, I have helpers who help me pull orders and pack orders and write the notes and cut the fabric and all those good things. But one thing I do like to do these days, years past I've had other people that do it, so I oscillate, but with a shop as busy as ours is, and I love you guys for that, and I appreciate you for that, it's really important to me to get to talk to the customers when they come in. And so often, you know, I'll be on the floor. Sometimes I'm working all by myself, which happened this weekend, which was fun. My friend Debbie came and helped me. Thank you, Debbie. My husband actually came over to offer to help because he knew I was by myself. Everybody had something going on. It just so happened. And Thursday night, I realized that I was going to be working in the shop by myself on Saturday, the first Saturday after market, the second day that we would be open. And my little heart missed a beat. I was like, oh, that's going to be bad, you know, because it was just like, whoa, holy cow, because we can get really busy in here. And we were really busy, but everybody was really kind and patient, and I appreciate you all for that. Thank you. I hope you had a good time. But I don't even remember where I was going with that because that's just how I roll. So we'll just move along. Except, oh, the shipping. But so one of the things that I really still like to do is I like to physically do the shipping. Like I like to be the one to look at the invoice because we go through like 3 checks, and that doesn't mean we don't miss anything. We do sometimes, but one person pulls, one person checks the order, and one person packs it. Another person ships it. And so by the time I look at it, I'm usually the third person. The checker and the packer are usually the same. It still doesn't mean that we haven't missed anything. Once something got through recently that all 3 of us missed, and there were 3 different people, and so that was disappointing, unusual, but we're humans, so no I here, folks, on the pulling, packing, and shipping. We're humans, and so we made a human error. But one of the things I like to do is physically print out the label and put it on the package, because at that point in time, I know what to look for usually to figure out if there was an error, and I know how to read all the little tick marks and checks on the forms, and I know what the packaging should look like. And so there are often times where I will unpack something and repack it sitting right there because I want it to get to you safely. So I hope you appreciate that when you order something from us. We do work really hard, and we spend extra money on packaging to make sure that it gets to you safely. And so if I don't feel good about how it's packed, I will open it up and repack it right then and there. But as I do all these things, I have a little window, and I'm looking out the little window, and behind the shop is a set of woods, and there's all kinds of little animals that come up through there. So there's little squirrels and birds of all kinds. One day it was like a flock of robins. I've never seen that many robins, and they were just everywhere, and they were so cute, and they were so plump. They were happy and healthy. And then I have a little squirrel back there who has a little bobtail, a little stump tail, and like a little bobcat, which are native here. And so he just has this tiny little tail, like a little bunny rabbit. And at first I thought, oh, I'll never see him again, but I saw him again. And so he lives back there, so I get to see him. So I look at birds when I'm doing your shipping, and I love it. It just gives my heart a lot of joy. This one is another one from Little Robin, which I love this flower arrangement. So I just think this is gorgeous. This reminds me of one of my favorite samplers that hangs on my wall at home, that hasn't been charted because it's full of embroidery stitches. And I wasn't sure if you guys would stitch it. But looking at this, I'm like, you know, I could actually chart those flowers and cross stitch, because this looks to me like an embroidered piece that's been reinterpreted in cross stitch. Not that a cross stitch is not embroidery, because it is. But, you know, different kinds of embroidery stitches that have been reinterpreted to cross stitch. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's an original design. It is just gorgeous. So I love it. I'll have to look and figure out if this was interpreted from an antique or if this is completely original design, but it is just so beautiful, and I wanted to share it with you. So this one's one that I would want to stitch too. I love it. And then Jan Hicks always does something fabulous. And I don't know if this is, I think this is a new one. Sometimes they have things in their room that aren't brand new. Honestly, I bought some at market that I had here too. And so it's okay. I clearly like it. But this was one of my favorites from Jan, and this is called Rose Sonata. So if you don't have it, whether it was new at market or not, you know, I love it. And so I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. It's like a piece of art you could hang on your wall, which isn't all of our stitching. So this one is, it has DMC numbers on it, and it also has hand-dyed fibers from Vicki Clayton. So you could stitch this in Vicki Clayton silks, which I love. So Rose Sonata, that was one of my favorites from Jan. Okay, this next one, the picture on this chart is not great. But if you look at our website, it might have a little bit better picture. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's stitched in person. It was great. I love this when I saw it in the marketing material. I'm shaking my table. I'm sorry. It's called 3 Penny Needles, and it's Shakespeare's Peddler. Now, you guys know I love Shakespeare's Peddler. I do. I chose them for my birthday stitch last year, which I'm still working on. But I just love this for some reason. I love the little cabin. I love the fact that it's got needles on it. I like the bird. I think it's a cardinal. It is, which might be why I like it, because that's the North Carolina state bird. I just love this. Absolutely love it. So I will be stitching this. But this was one of my favorites from Teresa Vignette of Kitten Stitcher Frame and Shakespeare's Peddler. So Kitten Stitcher is another wonderful shop online, and I order from them sometimes too. And Teresa is one of the nicest people in the business. I love her. She's extremely helpful, very kind, and you know, she runs a wonderful business. So if you have a chance to go to one of her retreats, you should do that in Pennsylvania. I'm going to try to do that sometime. This one is Kathy Barrick, and I just love it. The sea hath my love. You know, I love swans. We call this room the Swan Room because this room in this house, which was built in 1878 and is on the National Listing of Historic Places, was the most atrocious, most ugly room in the house. And probably because it was the most lived in. It has an exterior door, which we keep locked because we have other exterior doors. And it was right beside the kitchen. It was probably the warmest because there was no heat in this house. Even when we bought it, there was no central heating system here. And there had never been electricity upstairs. We had to redo everything. So I think this room was the most lived in. The walls were horrendously ugly. They had so many layers of paint that I couldn't even sand it down. I actually thought about taking the walls out and planing down the wood and bringing it back in, but we just ran out of time. So we painted it and it looks fine. But we called it the Ugly Room for 10 years because it took us that long to finish everything. And so because we called it the Ugly Room for so long and now it's so beautiful, we call it the Swan Room as well. We should, I think. And this is our linen room, and we have little swans here and there. And thank you, Barbara Bell, for the swans that you've made for us. One of our stitchy friends online has sent us several swans. But yeah, so I love this room. I hope you get to come visit it sometime. Sometime I'll do a really slow walk through the shop. Somebody said I went too fast on my little shop video, which I did. I did 6 minutes because the interweb doesn't like to post things that are long when you're posting on social media. So, and I was just really trying to show you the variety of what we had and how we had it set up, not necessarily each little thing. So today I show you each little thing, not everything, but some of my favorite things. And this one absolutely is. I want to stitch this. I love it. So Kathy Barrick, The Sea Hath My Love, which I thought was so sweet. I really like that sentimentality. So, and her daughter, Liz Matthews, did one that I also really love. Not the same, but kind of an oceany theme. And so this one's from Liz Matthews, and this is called Seaside. And I just really love this. I love all the underwater creatures. And then I love that beautiful house and that flag on it. And, you know, this is the right year for that. So I like that it has that shipwreck at the bottom of the ocean, because there are more shipwrecks on the coast of North Carolina, I think, than anywhere else in the world. I think we have more shipwrecks out there. And anyway, we're known for that. So, and fishes love shipwrecks. I don't know if you've ever gone snorkeling or diving, but stuff starts to grow things down there. And the little fishes, they love it. And so whenever I've gone snorkeling, I don't dive, but I do snorkel. My husband dives. It's always fun to find you know, old things on the ocean where the fish are gathering around and stuff. So I have to be in pretty shallow water to see that. I can go down for a little ways, and it depends on how clear the water is. There's a place in Hawaii off the coast of Maui that you can see, I want to say you can see 200 feet. It's just shocking how far down you can see. The water is so clear. And so I like to snorkel there because I can really see everything. But I love this one. This is another one that's going to be on my stitchy chart. Seaside by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I will say again, all these things I'm showing you are things that we do have in the shop. So if you want to go out and partake, you certainly can. I'm going to show you a couple freebies because I love them. So this was Huzzah from Plum Street Samplers. So it's a freebie. You can ask for it, or you might be able to find it. You can find it from anybody who went to market. And it stitches out so pretty. I love it. And then there's another one by Barbara Anna that I probably can't show you because it is just the chart. But it's kind of a dandelion with a pretty little bee on it. And it's really, really sweet. So we've been giving that one out too. I will tell you now too that the cookbook, which we haven't always gotten, we got it last year and we got it this year. It's amazing this year. So all the little designs and stuff in the cookbook are just fantastic. I mean, they're great. I really can't show them to you exactly because the charts are right in there with them. But this is going to be the best $14 you spend. So if you haven't ordered the cookbook, whether or not you ever want to cook any of it, get it for the charts. I mean, for $14, that's shocking. So, and it's just got everybody you can think of. Pretty much, I mean, I can see here, it's probably got at least like 50 different designers in it. So, just amazing purchase. And we do have some from last year. We have a few. So, if you want this year and you didn't get last year, you can get them both. But that should be on your list. I did not, okay, I'm going to pause and take some things out of plastic, then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It was probably just a quick second for you. The first thing I want to show you is this new scissor pouch from the Scissorist. And I thought I grabbed one that was put together. It's not. So, it's a really gorgeous leather pouch that you wear around your neck, and I'll show you how that works. And on the back of it, it's just a very subtle USA 250, so that you remember that it's 250th anniversary. It has a place for the scissors here. You saw me take these scissors out, and a place for a pen here. And I have put my pen and mine in it, and it's great. And then the front pocket can hold your phone or whatever else you want to put. These are the Statue of Liberty scissors. We do have these in with this pack, I'm holding it upside down. So now you can see, hopefully you can see her standing there with her arm up with the torch held up. These Statue of Liberty scissors, I'll be honest, at first I was like, I bet those feel weird, the weighting. I thought this was going to be heavy. And they're stinking perfect. And so after because you know how I am, like, well, maybe you don't, but I don't sell you scissors unless I've tried them, especially expensive scissors. If they get over the $20 range, I'm going to buy a pair myself and try it before I order it wholesale to sell to you. And so that's what I did with these. They are weighted perfectly. They feel amazing. So we do have these scissors with this pouch, and I'll show you the thing that goes around your neck, the lanyard. And we have them on their own, and they have their own little leather pouch. And we have plenty of them. We also have their moon scissors. The moon scissors I bought for myself first several months ago, and I loved them. And so we did bring them in, but we sold them all right away. And so we've got more coming. And then the crescent scissors, I'll hold these up so you can see them. The crescent scissors, which are like the moon scissors with the big finger holes, except that they're curved on the blade and they're silver. So the moon scissors are black and the crescent scissors are silver. Right now we have a pair, but probably by the time this video gets out, we'll be sold out, but we'll get more. So, you know, check back with us on these scissors. I love the fact that they're made in the US. Nothing could make me happier. And so I'm just super stoked about that. I hope you'll support them and we keep this company strong. I think it's important to us. The scissor quality is amazing. It's excellent. You will not regret it. And again, they are weighted so stinking perfectly. They're just awesome. So the way that this pouch works is it's got these two little hooks that just hook right into the little holes. Let me get it out here. Hooks into the holes, goes around your neck, and then it has a little place here where you can actually shorten it up. And so you can unbutton it here and snap it back there, and it shortens it up if you want to wear it differently. So we have plenty of these online. I love it. I hope you'll give it a try. I think you'll love it too. And if you don't want this, look at some of their other scissors, because their quality is just spot on. And you know, I've done reviews on scissors that everybody loved, that, you know, were so super popular, and I've told you very directly, they're not worth the money. These scissors are worth the money. These are amazing scissors. So, you know, I love them, and I wouldn't tell you that if they weren't. So I hope you try them out somewhere. And, you know, feel free to go to a shop and ask them to try a pair, because you should. If you're buying a pair of scissors that's more than 25 bucks, the shop owner should be quite happy to take them out and let you try them. And so for that reason, we keep some of the higher end scissors near our register that belong to me, so that you can try them and you can feel how the mechanism works. And if you ever want to try a pair that's, you know, that's the specific pair that you're buying, you should ask to do that too, because every pair of scissors is a little bit individual. And as long as you're serious about your purchase, I can't imagine any shop owner that wouldn't take them out of the package and let you try it. So you should ask to do that before you buy a really expensive pair of scissors. The next one I want to show you is one of my favorite Patriotics, because it's just so unique. And it is a Robin Pickens design, and it's called Glory in the Wind. But look at how the stripes are. They're like ribbons held in the mouths of the little birds. And I just thought that was so unique and so sweet. So I'm definitely stitching this one this year. This was one of my favorite Patriotic designs from Market. So I hope you like it as well. But we have plenty of these. And of course, you know, we have all the flosses that these guys call for. We carry all of the major brands. So we carry DMC, we carry Cosmo, full lines of all of these things. Needlepoint ink, Swat Alger, all of the Avera Soie line, just about, you know, with 103s and Goblins and Swat of Paris and Swat of Perle. We carry even Avera Soie's Metallics, which is really, really nice. We also carry, of course, Gentle Art, Week Style Works, which is a North Carolina company. Classic Colorworks, we love them. We carry Cottage Garden threads. We carry Gloriana. We carry Tudor Silk. We carry the threads from Romy's Creations. She does beautiful threads. I did try the Robin and Pirate threads at Market. I haven't stitched with them yet though, so we don't have them in the shop, but I'm going to give them a try. They were beautiful colors, so I know some of you love them. That was one I had to ask my helpers about. This is one of the platitudes. So if you heard about the platitudes, it's a play on words. And this was the Sunday offering at Market, and it was a surprise. And so lots of designers did one, not all designers, but lots of them did. This one's from Shakespeare's Peddler, and I really did love this one. And so it's just called Play Nice. And so the one that's in French there, that's what that says. It says Play Nice. So I thought this one was really sweet. And it's meant to be, there are actually finishing instructions online. So you can go to a site and you can download the instruction for how to finish all of the ones from all of the designers, finished kind of the same way, and put it on a plate for display. And so you supply the plate, and you can pick one out of your collection, or you can go and thrift one. So I just love this one. I thought it was really sweet. I think we did get a few others too, and I think we'll probably come across the one from, I'll show it to you now. Double Dutch, which is Summer House Stitchworks. Also really like this one. So this is the platitude from Summer House Stitchworks. The hurrier you go, the behinder you get, and then too soon, old, too late, smart. So that's a Dutch spelling on, you get old too soon, and you get wise too late. So this was really sweet, and I like this one too. And honestly, everything that Beth of Summer House Stitchworks, every one of her designs this year hit it out of the park. I was so impressed with her whole collection. So hopefully, and you'll see more of that. In fact, we'll do it now. This was one of my other favorites from Beth, A Whale's Tale. So I loved it. I just think it's dreamy. I really, really love it. So this is one I will definitely stitch too. They were all of her designs for this market were kind of patriotic in look, without maybe not necessarily being patriotic. So they might have been red, white, and blue, but they weren't necessarily, a patriotic verse or anything like that. And I think we'll come across some more. The Fragments in Time for this year are like that. They're beautiful. So I think you'll like those. This one is just so stinking cute. Ghost Boy Needleworks, right? And so I knew that I knew what this was. I knew that I knew what this was, but I couldn't remember. And he said it, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so it's peyote beads, and he actually gives you a QR code on the back where he does a free lesson on peyote. So you don't have to worry. Peyote, I know how to do peyote. I actually learned from Fern Ridge at a class, and it's not hard. It just takes a little time. But this is the little fella from I know you guys are yelling it at the screen. I just can't think of what it is right now. Beetlejuice. In my head, I knew you had to say it 3 times, but this is the little shrunken head from Beetlejuice. And I just think he's so stinking cute. And I love it. So I'm actually going to take the time to stitch this one. I've done a few. I don't usually sit down and do them, but I love this one. So I wanted to show you this. I think it's great. And we've got some other ones in the shop. His stuff sells out so fast for us. And so we've got a little kitty cat, which is called a cactus cat, and also a skeleton, a little skelly cat. So that one's cute. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is a designer that is not new, but was completely new to me. I was completely caught off guard. I think that came out last year in the summer market, and I don't know how I missed it, but I did. But I walked into this shop and I stopped in my tracks, and room. I love going into the rooms, and I love them all. But, it probably happens once a market that I walk in and I stop dead. And I look around me and I buy everything I see. And that's what happened here. And so, I try to keep a budget just like you guys do. And so I try to do pre-orders and I try to stick to my budget, and then I get in there and then I blow it. It's like going grocery shopping when you're hungry. And so I walked into this room and I stopped dead, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I went back a second time too. So it was great. So, it's boomerang stitches for lack of any more. And so not all of these charts are probably new at market. Some of them are, but they were new to me, and I love it. They reminded me of kind of like Charlie Harper. And so the designer's name is Amity Phillips. And I love. And I will be stitching more than one of these this year before the end of the year. And I was just completely blindsided. And I love the look of all of them. Now this one, I just didn't get right away. Somebody had to explain it to me. It's called the Stitchy Bug. And I know he's not brand new, but he was new to me. So some of you got him at StitchCon. But I just love him. He's so stinking cute. So I'll be stitching him and he'll be a model in this, or she. Maybe she's a she bug. And she'll be on model in the shop. So I love that. So you can see the spool of thread and the needle, and just super cute. And then this one is called Fruit Dove Frenzy. Just really beautiful. So just so well done. Just very clean, straight lines. Almost a little bit of a craftsman perspective. Just really fantastic. So I loved this too. And I probably will stitch that. And then these last two for them are just, well, they're not the last two, but these next two, I'm going to show them in a pair because they're really cute. And I don't know, again, if they were new at market or just new to me. But, so one of them's called Trick or Treat Bee, and one of them's called Trick or Treat Fritz. And Fritz is a French name for Fred. So I love it because they're like, you know, Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. So how cool and cute. I love it. So, you know, I think I could sit and stitch the rest of the year and on these things that I'm showing you, and probably into next year, and just not need anything else. You know, I mean, it's just amazing. This one's called Freak for the Beak, and also from Boomerang. Just to, you know, wanted to make sure you got to see some different things. And I know that Sheila is stitching some of these. Somebody told me that afterwards, after market. Oh, Sheila has been showing those and stitching them. Clearly, I've been missing my Sheila and EJ videos. But I love this one. I love woodpeckers, and as I mentioned earlier, I love birds, so I'm all about it. I love these birds with their funky headdresses and stuff and their big eyes. So cute. So thank you, Amity, for some wonderful designs and for surprising me at market this year. That was great. These guys, I didn't take out of the plastic. I'm going to show you the front and the back of this one. This one's called Hip Kitties. These are 3D, and they were gorgeous. So she had them out at market. I immediately ordered them when I saw the chart. And then when I saw them at market, I was like, holy cow, man, those are fantastic. So I don't think they'll be that hard to finish. I'll stitch some and I'll record my finishing, and you know, you're happy to jump on my wagon and finish yours with me. I don't know. She's got illustrated finishing directions and templates inside, so that'll make it easier. So I love these kitties. That's their back and that's their front. You know, I'm not just a cat person. I actually grew up with dogs and have always had dogs up until 2010. And I had 2 golden retrievers, and their names were Bonnie and Clyde, and I loved them. They were brother and sister, and they both died a year apart. Bonnie died in 2009 and Clyde died in 2010, and it gutted me. I had Sassy Jack at the same time, who we named the shop after. It gutted me to lose my dogs like that in such quick succession, and I have not recovered from that. I know people will be shocked, but I love those dogs so much that I buried them in family quilts. And so anyway, I haven't had a dog since then. I couldn't get a dog at that point because I was traveling so much for my job. And then I moved home. And so for the last 10 years, I've just been super busy. Dogs take a lot of attention, but my husband wants a dog really bad. And so we're probably going to try to get a dog this year, but it'll be for him, really. I mean, I will love it. I'd probably pat it, squeeze it, and kiss it, and pat it on the head and call it George, you know, but hopefully Herschel will enjoy it too. He acts more like a dog than a cat. Hopefully he'll enjoy it too, because he needs a little buddy. So we will be getting dogs. I'm not just a cat person. That's all I'm just going to say. I love dogs too. This is another Satsumistry, and again, it's just a really fun, sweet design. I thought it was fantastic. Another bird, of course. And then here's another bird. This is actually Robin Pickens, and I loved this. So we do carry a few Robin Pickens designs in here, and I love all of her stuff. Again, it's that really nice, clean, geometric look to it. Satsuma Street does the same thing. And of course, you know, Boomerang has that going on. So I love this one. This one's called Fanciful Flight. So, and then I missed this is Tiny Modernist. So this is called Neverland Tree from Tiny Modernist. And I just really love it. And so I'm probably going to try to stitch this one too. In January, you guys need to gang up on me and say, hey, Kim, how many of those charts did you actually stitch? Ask me how many I finished and ask me how many I actually stitched. I'm going to break. I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to take a little break there, so I'm back. And I don't know if I'm going to get through all these today because there's so many. But one of the ones that's just beautiful, and I'm telling you again, these pictures don't do it justice, is Helen Padham. I'm probably going to say that wrong. Barbara will have to correct me. This is a Scottish sampler, and it's from Barb Hudson of Queenstown Samplers. And this is an absolutely gorgeous sampler. So super excited about this one. It's one of my favorites from Market. I will be stitching this at some point. I don't know when I'm going to work this in, but I love it. Absolutely love it. And I will try to get some pictures in this video, maybe at the end of this sampler, because she's just so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you, Barb, for bringing that one to us. I love it. Another one that is not new, but that I saw at Market and bought it again because I love it just as much as I always have. And I want to share it with you just in case you missed it in other markets, is Ann Richardson. And this is from my sister's sampler and samplers. And they do beautiful reproductions too. And this is a reproduction. What a sweet, pretty little sampler. And again, it's got those big, beautiful flowers that I just love. So at some point I'm going to get this stitched, and I wanted to share it with you in this grouping, even if you've already seen it, because I loved it. And I did buy more at Market because I do. And this one, I feel like this one might have came out as like, I don't know, in a kit or as a specialty design or an exclusive somewhere, maybe at Grand Stitchery, I can't remember, but it's called The Goblins, and it's by Shakespeare's Peddler. And of course, you know, this is going to be one of my favorites. The Goblins will get you if you don't watch out. And so I don't know if you guys have ever listened to the Needlework Cozy Mysteries by Monica Ferris. I love them, and I've listened to them, all of them, so many times on Audible, and I've read the books. And I got to meet Monica Ferris once at a Susan Greening Davis event. It's been 15 years ago, maybe 20. And if you like cozy mysteries and you love needlework, you should go out and find yourself some of Monica Ferris's needlework mysteries. And so they are all based around a little shop in Minnetonka, Minnesota. And there's a guy that works in the shop, and his name is Godwin. And in one of the stories, he has a Halloween party with his partner, and everybody has to read a little poem, and his little poem is this: the goblins will get you if you don't watch out. And so I always, in my head, it's always said just like Godwin says it in the book. But the books are really cool. Like the first one starts off the story. The second one is called The Cruel World, because the name of the shop is The Cruel Yule. The name of the shop is The Cruel World, kind of like The Cruel Goblin, but it's called Cruel World. That's the name of the shop, and so it's a play on words. But Cruel Yule is the second book in the series, and it's based in the Nashville Needlework Market. And so the first year that Everett went to Market with me, which was 2016, he sent me this picture, and he is laid over the railing, and he took a selfie like he was falling. And he did that because it's from the book Cruel Yule. And so it's perfect. I'll put that at the end of this video too. It's so cute. I may insert it right here just so you can see it. But it's so funny because it was so perfect. But the book, if you ever want to know a little bit about Market, that particular book, Cruel Yule, takes place in the market, in the Nashville Needlework Market. And it's so fun. So you hear a lot of familiar names like Doug Cronick, and Norden, which is gone now, is a distributor, and it's in an Embassy Suites, and it's just so fun. So if you're looking for a little series of books that are just feel-good books, that's a good one. But this one's close to my heart because of that. So, and then of course, I love this little series of so she's done a ladybug. This is hands-on design, a ladybug, a lightning bug, and a bee. And of course, we sit outside here in July and we watch the lightning bugs, June and July. And my husband and I live out rural, away from the city, and so we just see a real show of lightning bugs. We sit out at night. We have a little hot tub, and so we'll go out there sometimes, and you're just under the stars, and you've got all these little lightning bugs, and they light up this series of trees across one of our hills in the back of our house. And it's just amazing. And so I love that one. I do. And then Kathy came out with a new kind of modern take on a baby sampler, which I also love. So she wrote this verse, and I think she's done a little video about it, so you can go watch her little video. But I love this one, so we bought some of those. One of my other favorite Patriotic designs, of course, is a Worthy Patriot from Plum Street. Now, this is really stunning and beautiful in person, so I'll be stitching this one too. This one may take me a little while. I don't know if I'll get it done this year, but because I'm definitely going to stitch Grace first. And I actually have a 2016 project, the Betsy Ross doll, which I know a lot of you just did with, I think, the Mayflower Guild, because I know my friend Gwen did it with you guys. Julia Manfredi did a Betsy Ross doll, which I took back in 2016, and I have not finished it. Right now, I can't find it. But if I find it anytime soon, I'll try to finish that for 4th of July. And I'll finish Grace this year because I love that. So this one is another one. I knew this would be super popular when I saw it. And I hope you guys love it. Got plenty of those. And then Heartstring Sampler came out with another beauty. So this one's called All Things Wise and Wonderful. And I really love it. So, you know, she's done His Eyes on the Sparrow. What was the other one? Well, you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the other one, although we have it. And then this one is the third in that series, All Things Wise and Wonderful. It'll come to me. Sorry, it's just leaving me right now. I'm at that age. It's sad. And yet, I'm glad I made it. So, there we go. So, this one at some point, I would love to stitch all three of those. This is a big girl, but it's beautiful. And then Blackbird came out with a new book. And so, these are all new designs. And they are just gorgeous. And they can all be stitched together. And so the center bird is came from an antique of hers. And then all the others are original design. And of course, she interpreted that center bird too. But just so you know, it's got a little bit of an antique inspiration. But I love this one. This would be a really sweet one to stitch all together. And you can see the size is very manageable on it. I love her houses. They just do wonderful houses. So this is the new Blackbird, which we have plenty of. And then, of course, Prairie Schooler came out with their new Santa. So this is the 2026 Santa. 'Tis a season. He's a cutie. They're always cute. Romy, my friend Romy, came out with a new book. And Romy will be here to teach in September of this year. So keep that on your radar. You might want to come to Sassy Jack's for a Halloween class with Romy. And this is called Stitchery, which she does just the best Halloween and Christmas designs. I love Romy. She's fantastic. That's a picture of her there. So the book is great. It's $28 for the whole book, which I think is a fantastic price. It's got so many beautiful designs in it. How many are even in here? I don't even know. There's a bunch. I don't know how many are in here. And then she's got like 4 recipes in here. But pretty much every page has at least one design. I'm going to say, I don't know how many. I don't want to say it wrong. But there's a bunch. So if you like Halloween designs, you probably want to pick up Romy's book. I think for $28 that you just can't beat that price. This was one of my favorite Patriotic designs too. Of course, Brenda Gervais always knocks them out of the park. I love her. And this one's called One Flag, One Land. Sorry, I was trying to read the back. One Flag, One Land. And we will have those display stands. We had to order some of those from Chantal. But we will have those. And you'll be able to display yours that way or any other way you want. But I will be stitching this. I'm excited about it. So, very cute. Pretty straightforward stitch. I think we could all get that done by 4th of July. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And then the next little guys I want to show you, they might not be new this year, In fact, I know one of them is not. We keep selling out of them. And I know that in what we brought in all of their new ones because we bought everything that they had. But we just keep selling out of them. And so I just wanted to highlight them to you. So this is Cotton Pixels. And of course, I pulled the two little black cats for you to look at. But I love their stuff. So we have a whole bunch more of these. And if you like Cotton Pixels, they're quick, sweet little stitches. That little black cat, he's about 3 inches tall. So they're just really fun and sweet. Like here's the stitchy part, and you wouldn't even have to make it into a 3D. You could put it in a little hoop if you wanted to, which would be really sweet too. This little guy walking through the tall grass, how sweet. So I love Cotton Pixels. I love their little cats, and they were super fun to talk to at market. I enjoyed meeting them. And of course I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Sugar. So I think you guys will have to correct me. I'm pretty sure Sugar is a skunk, although some people tell me Sugar is a badger. And so I don't know, but Sugar is awfully sweet. So very cute little thing. We have a lot of skunks here. That's why I like to think of her as a skunk, but super cute. Of course I'll stitch that. And there were some other new animal crackers that came out. And the fun thing is that Stacy gave us a little free list. And so we'll upload that to, she might have it on her website. We'll check. But if you want one of the free checklists when you order, just put a note in there that says, hey, will you send me a checklist? We'll send it to you because we printed a bunch of them. Now, this one's another one from Romy. And she's got 12 months. And I love the designs, but I also love that frame. So that frame is available to purchase too, and you can run your own ribbon through there, and then you can switch out the different pieces on the same frame, or you can have different frames. But we do have those frames in stock. They're made out of like a hard plastic, and they have a wooden look to it. So they have a little bit of an impression that gives it like a little bit of a wood grain. I mean, you can definitely tell it's plastic, but it's really pretty, and it's a great finishing tool. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. We'll have some finished in the shop. When I get one of mine put on the frame, I will show it to you. But there's a whole series of these charts. This was one of my favorites, and I pulled it. So I'm excited about these in this series from Romy. And I'm going to take some things out of plastic and be right back. Okay, so this next little bit, these are stockings that have gotten reissued. So these were originally designed by Carriage House Samplings, and you know, Kathy Barrick and the designer for Carriage House are sisters, and so it's kind of a all in the family kind of thing there. And so originally these charts were owned by Carriage House. Kathy Barrick's daughter, Liz of Liz Matthews, hello from Liz Matthews, bought the stockings, and she's kind of reformatted them and made them a little more, the format a little more current and easier to use, and she's reissued them. And so this is one of them. I think there were 6 that we bought. This one's Noah. There were either 4 or 6. Maybe there were 4. I can't remember. But we will certainly, as she releases them, we will have them all because I love these stockings. But you can see the Noah one. So it's cool. She's kind of giving it to you in a sampler format if you didn't want to do it in a stocking. And then, of course, there's the stocking format with that alligator and the deer. I love the cats and the mice there together. And the long neck, what does Everett call those? Long neck water birds, something like that. I think they're maybe peacocks, but he calls them long-necked water birds. So anyway, I show you this as an example. There's some beautiful ones. There's Skating Santa. There's the sampler stocking. There's several others that got reissued this time, so we brought all those in. Now, we talked about Kitten Stitcher Teresa Vignette before. She does all things with perfection. She really does, down to her packaging. So if I had one little request to designers out there, it would be please give us packaging that's not going to flop over in our displays. And so Teresa puts a little piece of cardstock in there if it's a big one that, you know, can't stand on its own that's not already on cardstock. So this is Peace on Earth, and I loved this one. So this will be a great Christmas stitch this year, and this will probably be my Christmas stitch. I love it. Her charts are just perfection. Again, everything she does is amazing. I love her. We did get some of her fabric in too. We're just talking about charts today, but we have so much fabric. So if you watch the little reel that I did on the shop, and I'll do something better, like I said, this room is nothing but fabric and a few books and some ribbons behind me there. But there are 3 walls in here covered in fabric. You can only see one of them. And then we have a whole nother display in the other room that has all the bolts. So we have plenty of fabric, and not just linens, but we also try to bring in lots of Lagana and Aida. And so when we went to market this year, we did buy some linens, but we were very focused on Laganas and Aida because that's what we can't keep in the shop. We buy it and it's gone. I mean, we hardly even can get it online because it just sells so fast. And so one of the things that we're going to do is start to bring you a curated line from the different designers, where we carry maybe 10 or 15 colors from each designer that we always will try to keep in stock. And then everything else is just kind of gravy, because it's hard for us to keep the counts and keep it all online when there's so many, if we're just buying random stuff all the time. So we will always have fun and new and interesting things, but we want to be the place you can go where, like, if you're looking for this fiber on a whim, well, that's a Sassy Jack's color that they usually keep, so they probably have it. We'll look there for it. So anyway, that's to come this year. But if you're looking for fabric, give us a peek. We probably have it. This one is the Proper Stitcher, and this was another Patriotic one that I really love. And this one's called Liberty. The Proper Stitcher is pretty close to us. She lives pretty close to us. So she's going to be sending us a trunk show soon, and she'll come and do a meet and greet at the shop. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and keep your eyes open for that. But this is one that I'll probably try to stitch this year too. I really love it. So, and then she had a couple others there that are not new, but she had them stitched on different fabric, and I just really loved them. And I think their message is very timely. So one of them is have courage and be kind. And I just really like that. And you see how it's stitched in that other color down there? I love it. So I'm definitely stitching this for the shop. Have courage and be kind. I think that's so important. Sometimes that gets overlooked. So, and then the other one, and this one's really important. There's room at the table for everyone. And I really love this stitch on that dark blue fabric. It was in there as a model, and I fell in love with it. So I'm absolutely stitching this one. There's room at the table for everyone. And I just really, really love that. So this would be a good blessing sampler too. And you know, you need to have a blessing all year long. So it's not gonna hurt you to stitch one in the summer. Okay, so I'm getting to the last of my little group, and I appreciate all of you who've stayed so long. These are some of the Beneath the Waves that I love. There's not all of them. We got most of them at market. We didn't get them all. We did get most of them, but they're all online, or they will be soon. But these are online for sure, and these are my favorites. So this is my absolute most favorite of the Beneath the Waves. And it's called Gone Fishing from Ink Circles. And I'm just in love with him. Look at that little fella. Aw, he's so cute. A little ginger kitty. It's diving. I love it. Some cats do like water. But I love this. I'm positively stitching this. Probably this will be my next start. I'm in love with this. So Tracy, thank you for that. And we do have the threads. So we bought, you were only allowed to buy 20 at market. So we, my throat's getting dry. We did buy our 20 at market, and then we ordered a whole bunch more, and they're on their way from Australia. So we've got plenty of threads. This is another Ink Circles. This one's called Whale Shark. He's pretty cute. I like his big smiley face. That's what I like about him. Sorry, my throat's so dry. Let me grab something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay. This Whale Shark, I like him so much with his funny, happy smile, because I do like to go snorkeling, although I'm a little bit snobby about it. I only want to go in certain places. And I've seen lots of barracuda. And the thing that I like about barracuda, which I know sounds crazy, is that they always are smiling. And I've got this huge smile, right? And so you see every tooth in their head, which reminds me of me, because when I learned to smile, you can see pictures of me literally at 5 years old, and you can see every tooth in my head. You know, it's just the way I smile. And so I've always liked the barracudas. Now, if I see them, I make sure that I don't have any earrings on and that my dive watch is covered. Like, I don't want them coming after me. I don't want to see them up that close. but I like seeing them because you can see all their teeth. And so that's what I like about this whale shark. I know that's silly, but there you go. And then Jan Hicks had a really great one. Hers is called Underwater Garden, and I just love it. It's so pretty. Such a pretty one. And these are all so small. I mean, they're like 60 by 60. Now, there is a free border floating around out there. I want to say Arlene Cohen of ABC, of Stitches by ABC, did a free border. And so you might go check out her website and see if you can download the border. And I think you can stitch 9 of them in that border, which would probably be a great thing to do. One of the other ones that I liked was Fox and Rabbit. I love that silly little fish. He's really cute. So he's just a fun little freckledy fish. Reminds me of myself with the freckles. So he's super cute. He doesn't have a little name though. I don't see his name, just Fox and Rabbit, freckledy fish. Stitchy Pros, Tentacles Below. This one's great. So that's a really good one. I like the squid. I don't know if you guys have ever encountered a little octopus in the ocean, but they are so smart and playful. They're really playful. And so my husband, he dives as well as snorkels, but he'll snorkel when I'm snorkeling. And he found an octopus for us one time. And, you know, we don't touch it or anything, but he was playing hide and seek with it, and it was playing with us, and it was so neat. And then I think it was Emma, his daughter Emma, just couldn't spot it. And I couldn't spot it in the beginning. I finally saw it. But he was trying to help her see it, and she just couldn't see it. And so he actually touched it. And when he touched it, it inked and it swam away. So it did not like to be touched. So we try not to touch them. But Emma saw it then as it swam away when it inked, because they're chameleons, right? I mean, they change their color. Like, if they don't want you to see them, you don't see them. It's just so cool. If you have never had the chance to do that, you know, go watch some of the videos. Like, they've made some cool videos and movies about octopus, and they're so neat. And for that reason, I don't eat octopus, and I don't eat squid. And I've never liked it anyway. I've never eaten much of it, but I really don't ever. I will never, ever knowingly eat, you know, an octopus. I think they deserve that much respect. So they're really cool. And there are studies that say that if they had a longer lifespan, they would be the dominant species on planet Earth, because they're so smart. And the only reason that they're not is because they don't live very long. They live like 3 years usually, or something like that. So, but they're so smart, and they're so neat. So anyway, I always like to stitch them. This one is Shaded Stitchery, Glowing in the Deep, and I loved it. Love it, love it. So it's pretty neat. When I lived in St. Croix, I took Emma and Everett came over to visit me, and I took them on a little canoe ride where you could see bioluminescent jellyfish. And there are not a lot of places in the world where bioluminescent species can still be seen, because we have so much light pollution. But there are 2 bays in St. Croix where they live, but only one of them can you see them, because there's too much light pollution at the other. And you can't see them if you go on a full moon, so you have to go on a dark moon. And so we intentionally planned their trip where we could go on a dark moon, and we could do this this little trip and take this little canoe ride and see all these fish. And you could actually pick them up and play with them, which Emma did. I did not. And Emma and Everett got in and swam with them, which was fun. So this glowing in the deep, I thought that was really cool, because I've actually seen things glow in the water, and it's an unreal experience to see that. And then this is the thread pack. There's 4 threads in there. Like I said, we've got plenty of these. It's Cottage Garden Threads. They come out of Australia. Cottage Garden Threads is a really thoughtful company. So I don't know if you know much about them, but if you don't, this little package, so we carried mostly their full line. The way they put their line together, they've got lots of little groups and stuff. And so I never know if we have the full line, but we've got a whole wall of them. I'll put it that way. But this little paper part, you can untwist the thread. There's a little picture of it back here. You can untwist the thread. I think it's right here where my finger is. you can untwist the thread and you can leave it on the paper thing, and then you can just pull out one strand at a time. So there's a little hole up here, so the paper thing actually works as your thread keep, which I think is amazing. It's so well thought out, no waste, you know, it's awesome. So great, fabulous thread. I've used it in other things and I love it, and it's a mother and daughter company. And if you don't have any cottage garden threads, this would be a great intro for it. All of those things said, I want to come back to this one, and this is a chart from Shaded Stitchery again, and it's called Broken Wings Welcomed. And I just want to show you that beautiful, beautiful bird, and it's got a little bandage on its arm. And let me read you what she wrote. I would hold it up at the same time, but I can't. Your people, your tribe, your flock, finding them is priceless. Knowing that you're in a space where you're seen and appreciated changes how you show up in the world and opens you up in ways you often couldn't have imagined. Especially when that space acknowledges that all of us have imperfections and that they should be accepted and celebrated. Display your bandaged wing proudly, like this bird, because it may help you find those who are nursing their own and want to heal together. So that's my parting message from you, from Nuri at Shaded Stitchery. Find your tribe, and hopefully it's in your little stitching group. And if you don't have a stitching group, I encourage you to come and stitch with us, either in person or in our Zoom stitch groups. Every Tuesday night we do a Zoom stitch group, and you're quite welcome to come and stitch with us there. Go to our homepage, scroll down, click on the link, and you'll pop right in every Tuesday night. Every second Sunday, we do a YouTube live, and that's me chatting to you about whatever, and trying to do some demos and things like that. And then, of course, you have this FlossTube channel, and every fourth Friday, we stitch together on Zoom as well. So, Nuri, thank you for such a wonderful chart and for your words that, help unite us together. And so I hope you stitch this one too. And thank you for watching this video, and thank you for supporting Sassy Jack Stitchery. We appreciate you for that, and I hope that I see you back soon. Bye.